filmmakers behind the incredible Apple TV show you just saw, Murderbot. So please allow me to welcome to the stage co-writers, directors, showrunners, and EP, Chris and Paul Weitz. Our star in the EP, Skarsgård. Costume designer, Carrie Grace. The specialty costume designer, Shannon. Live composer, Mandy James. Chris and Paul, closest to me. Alexander, sir, you're going to be right in the middle because everybody wants to look at you. Right.
All right, right here. Oh, there you go.
Stand with us. And then ladies. Carrie. Yes. Something. That was so easy. I'm so glad we got there. Chris and Paul, I'm going to start with you about all of the brotherly fights you had. No, I'm just kidding. Now, I want to talk about this story and this tone because I've seen some interviews where Alexander's kind of talked about it. This was something that you guys adapted from a novella, and this tone was in that, and so you wanted to bring it into the show. So I'd love for you to talk a bit about it.
Yeah, both did. This was adapted from the book All Systems Red by Martha Wells, who's an extraordinary writer, science fiction writer, fantasy writer. There's something really specific about the tone of her writing, and especially the main character, Murderbot. Usually in science fiction, if something's funny, it's kind of parodic. For us, it would be interesting to do kind of what I called like a comedy of manners in space, in which it was going to be very character-driven. But you sort of had a sense that people were reacting in a way that would make sense of humans in this situation. So when violence takes place, instead of high-fiving and moving on to the next episode, they're actually really troubled by it if you weren't talking about it. We cast the show so that the quirks of various characters who might not have been fully described in the books because they're viewed by a robot who didn't, or a second who didn't care about them, they're able to come out more.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say thanks, and thank you so much for being here on this rainy day. We really appreciate it. It was really fun to sit and watch with you. And with all that, I think tone just seems like sort of an accumulation of detail, and certainly the tone wouldn't work without Alexander anchoring it and being sort of confident enough to not kind of like give too much away and to kind of ignore the fact that there's an audience, which is what you actually have to do. You hope the audience likes it, but if you start to wonder if they're going to like it, you're kind of dead. But early on, Alexander was a producer on the show, and early on, he kind of said to us, I think it's really important that he doesn't warm up to these people too quickly because then there's no place to go. And then, it's always like you get there and you're like, is that how you're going to play it? And it's like, yeah, that's cool. So, and then I think also Amanda with the music and LJ with the incredible suits and Alexander's suit and Carrie, like everybody was contributing to the tone.
Alexander, sir, first of all, you're so good in this and so funny. And for the folks here who have seen this, actually, how many of you have seen past these 2 episodes? Oh, see, this is why I dig this a lot. So I'm not going to try to spoil too much for the folks of you that haven't seen it. But for you, sir, I really love the way that not only your character was completely just, I think, almost averse to the human condition, but was in the most human. It was like the real world with the person who does not want to get real, which I thought was so great. But how did you find that place? You don't seem to be a person that is uncomfortable in rooms, so what did you sort of get to? Did you have to go back to when, I don't know, was there ever a time that you weren't comfortable like that?
I can relate to it. I'm probably a bit more social than Murderbot, but I've definitely had the experience of walking into a room and try to kind of assess the situation or feel out the vibe and kind of being a bit, feeling a bit out of place. And it was just about leaning into that heavily and just sensing the desperation, desperately trying to avoid eye contact, or being driven by the motivation of trying to get the hell out of there and as quickly as possible. And it was quite fun playing it because, again, they're so tactile, and Murderbot hates physical contact. They're so loving and embracing and invites Murderbot in, which is a huge contrast to in the first scene. You see what Murderbot is used to. That's how Murderbot is used to being treated by humans, like basically a piece of equipment. So this is really surprising and different and deeply uncomfortable, because again, Murderbot just wants to be left alone to watch its great shows, premium quality entertainment.
Don't we all, though? That was the most relatable thing he said. It's the reason why I do this.